Tell assault troops, I want a full sweep of the camp. Finish off any remaining pirates and find those stolen supplies.
I bet they won't even notice if some of those supplies go missing.
After that! Whoa! Don't let them escape! We're under attack! Let's move! What was that?
What the
What's going on?
As a diehard Star Wars fan, I was beyond excited for Star Wars Outlaws. The franchise has been taking a beating lately, but the promise of an open world game from the perspective of a scoundrel set in the original trilogy era, yeah, that grabbed my attention right away.
Hey, here we go.
Now it's here, but what we got is a mixed bag. Visually, the game could be stunning at times, but at other times makes it feel a bit dated. The open world, while expansive, sometimes feels a bit confined and restricted. And of course, there's an abundance of bugs, ranging from the silly to the downright annoying.
They won't quit!
But despite all of that, I still found the story engaging and fun to experience. In Star Wars Outlaws, you play as Kay Vess, a down-on-her-luck street rat who grew up in the slums of Canto Bight.
Enjoy the view, Nix.
She's accompanied at all times by her adorable pet Nix, and together they rob more people than the Wet Bandits.
No, we've been looking for you two guys for a long time.
Yeah. I'll remember. We're the Wet Bandits. Wet Bandits. W-E.
The game tries really hard to make Kay stand out as her own character, but she mostly feels like a stand-in for Han Solo, minus the wit and charm. Kay spent her whole life on Canto Bight, and she's motivated to steal whatever she can to earn enough credits to get off-world and explore the galaxy. This, of course, lands her into hot water pretty early on, leading to a bounty on her head. The rest of the story is a whirlwind of backstabbing and double-crossing missions, all focused on getting rid of the bounty placed by Sliro, a Count Dooku-looking crime boss Kay accidentally crossed paths with. Along the way, Kay visits a variety of planets and cities that feel vibrant and alive, filled with a diverse array of aliens and species. Similar to Assassin's Creed or Red Dead Redemption, these NPCs are going along with their life, doing their thing. They all look unique in their own way, so it feels like you never come across the same alien twice. It's like walking through a Star Wars movie. However, unlike the two games I mentioned earlier, the NPCs mostly serve as background decorations. They don't interact with you or react to your presence. You can't bump into them or knock them over. You can't kill them, which makes them feel a little bit lifeless at times. To add to the immersive feel, there are moments when you can eavesdrop on conversations to pick up side missions, tips on gambling, or hidden items.
The back alley next to the market.
This feels organic and less like traditional fetch quests, but I also found myself leaning against a bar just to get nothing more often than not. Although the game is open world and expansive, you're limited to what you can do. You can't just land your ship anywhere, for example, except in predefined ports, and you can't just start a fight in the middle of a city. So if you're hoping to fully embrace the life of a scoundrel, whether good or evil, you might be disappointed. Your choices are limited to picking which cartel or syndicate you want to support in certain conversations. This can lead to gaining access to a particular syndicate's area, allowing you to freely explore and find new items or gear. And while you see plenty of wildlife, speeders, and other vehicles on various planets that you may want to ride, you're stuck to riding your speeder bike. Again, not exactly the open world freedom you might have hoped for. Kay's abilities can be upgraded by completing objectives and playing mini games, while her blaster, speeder bike, and ship require materials to modify. You can modify her blaster from a workbench inside the ship, similarly to the way Cal mods his lightsaber in Jedi Survivor. Kay can also acquire gear that will increase certain stats, like being a bit stealthier or carrying an extra thermal detonator. But if you don't like the way an outfit looks, not to worry, the outfits can be changed so that you can modify her look with anything that you've acquired. Unfortunately, the gear that you get with the ultimate version of the game is purely cosmetic only, so the only advantage for wearing them is the weird sensation that you're wearing Han Solo's outfit.
Don't worry, we'll find Jabba the Hutt and that bounty hunter, and we'll get Han back.
Why are you wearing Han's clothes? Seriously, watch the actual movie. Lando is wearing Han's clothes in this scene. It's really weird.
Nix also can be modified by playing this food minigame.
What?
Yep, you heard me correctly. In this game, Kay and Nick sit down for a hot plate of chow at the local bar. The game is similar to God of War, where you have to hit the correct button sequence to complete it. Once it's done, the food can be added to Nick's to give an added bonus. Combat is a fun cover and shoot system, complete with authentic Star Wars blaster sounds and explosions, but it's easy for Kay to get overwhelmed due to a limited arsenal. Switching to grenades can be a bit clunky, and while you pick up enemy weapons, they run out of ammo pretty quickly. Also, it seems that you can never hold on to the enemy weapons, as switching to grenades will cause her to drop the weapon, punching enemies will cause her to drop the weapon, climbing on walls will cause her to drop the weapon. They just really don't want you to carry another weapon. She also comes equipped with 2 cooldowns to give you the ability to stun an enemy or to slow down time to select multiple enemies to take down all at once, which is pretty dope. At least as you continue through the game, you will find mods that will enhance your blaster, making it feel like a different weapon. So for example, there is one that will give the blaster an ion shot. Space combat though is where the fun really kicks in. It's a really fun arcade space simulator, so think more like Star Wars Battlefront if you want a closer comparison. Flying through ships, barrel rolling, and dogfighting enemies provides a nice change of pace to the usual gameplay. The missions mostly involve sneaking around and breaking into strongholds or hideouts to steal information or valuables. You'll use nicks to open doors, cause distractions, steal access cards, or even attack enemies. Despite some of the missions feeling repetitive, they often open up in unexpected ways, leading to some classic Star Wars moments. I went on one mission, for example, to retrieve a client list for the Hutt cartel, which led me to a guy that works for Crimson Dawn who needed me to blow up the facility altogether. I found myself double-crossing the Hutt cartel, shooting it out with the pikes, and trying to escape the facility just before it all blew up. It ended up being a lot more fun than I expected and something more than just a simple fetch quest. However, these great moments came with their fair share of bugs on the PS5 version that I played, from floating objects to NPCs looking in the wrong direction during conversations to mission indicators not reacting, requiring me to restart. The most annoying thing that happened was when I came across a set of stormtroopers that were fighting it out with some pirates. I was hidden in the grass and I decided to throw a grenade at them, thinking I was going to kill them all in one shot, only for the bomb to mysteriously explode in front of me, killing me and ruining my chances at completing this mission. I guess that's what I get for trying to sneak up on some stormtroopers. The graphics are also a mixed bag, with some cutscenes looking fully developed while others feeling like just regular gameplay, which just makes it look like it was unfinished and unpolished. But hey, Star Wars Outlaws is far from perfect. It's definitely not the best game out there. Despite its bugs and lackluster visuals, it has some moments where it shines, particularly in story and gameplay. And I'm hopeful that they'll patch up these issues, as I'd love to recommend this game without the flaws. But if those kind of things bother you, I'd suggest waiting for Ubisoft to polish it up a bit before buying it. Thanks for hanging out, and remember to keep it here on the Hyperdrive for all things Star Wars. May the Force be with you.